If I were to think of two documents that affect our lives as Jewish Americans every day, one of them would be the Ten Commandments, and the other would be the Bill of Rights. One of Judaism's most important holidays is Shavuot, although my guess is not a lot of Jews observe it. Shavuot commemorates when Moses came down Mount Sinai with the Ten Commandments. Counting from the second day of Passover, if you count exactly 50 days, you arrive at Shavuot. It's as if we are reenacting the journey of the Israelites. First we come out of Egypt, and then we travel to Mount Sinai to get the Ten Commandments with Moses. And so that's what happens in the spring. We've just sat at our Passover Seder tables, and then 50 days later, we stand in front of the Torah and read the Ten Commandments aloud. In fact, the Ten Commandments is one of the portions that you read while standing, as if you are reenacting standing at Sinai, being there at the mountain with Moses. Just as we think of ourselves as having personally left Egypt, so do we think of ourselves as having personally stood at Mount Sinai. If I were to think of two documents that affect our lives as Jewish Americans every day, one of them would be the Ten Commandments, and the other would be the Bill of Rights. The Ten Commandments: I am Adonai your God, you shall have no other gods but me, do not swear falsely by my name, keep Shabbat, honor your father and mother, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not testify falsely against your neighbor, and you shall not covet anything that is your neighbor's. These have formed the bedrock of much of Western society, and not just Western society, but all around the globe. But the Bill of Rights speaks of our freedom of religion, our freedom of speech, our freedom of press, our freedom of assembly. These rights are also precious to us. As Jewish Americans, we balance both of these. The Bill of Rights speaks of our freedoms, our liberties, our rights, what we are free to do. But the Ten Commandments speaks about what we're not free to do, what we're obligated to do, and what we must not do. And so we balance both of these as Jewish Americans. We live with both of them in our hearts, because a life of just freedom without any responsibility would be meaningless. So the Ten Commandments come at this season to remind us of our communal responsibilities and our responsibilities to God. Chag Sameach. Happy Shavuot.